What if your regular paycheck isn't the only way you could make an extra $1,000 a month in America in 2026? The side hustle economy has changed dramatically. You no longer need to drive around for hours every night or build a huge social media following just to earn extra money. Today, people are using skills they already have: simple online services, local businesses, digital products, and even AI-powered tools to create additional income streams. But there's a catch. Not every side hustle you see online is actually profitable, and some can consume more time and money than they're worth. So in this video, we're going to look at the side hustles that have a realistic potential to reach $1,000 or more per month, how the economics behind them work, and what you should consider before turning a side hustle into a serious income stream. Let's start with something important. Making an extra $1,000 a month sounds simple until you do the math. That's $12,000 a year before taxes and expenses. If you wanted to make that amount from a traditional job paying $20 an hour, you would need roughly 50 extra hours every month. That's why the best side hustles aren't necessarily the ones with the highest advertised hourly rate. The real goal is to create a system where your income can increase without your time increasing at exactly the same rate. That could mean charging more for a valuable skill, serving multiple customers at once, creating something once and selling it repeatedly, or building a small business that eventually operates more efficiently. One of the most accessible opportunities in 2026 is AI-assisted freelancing. Businesses everywhere need help creating social media posts, editing short-form videos, writing website copy, organizing information, designing presentations, and handling repetitive digital tasks. You don't necessarily need to become an artificial intelligence expert. The valuable skill is knowing how to use modern tools to solve a real business problem. Imagine a local restaurant that needs short videos for Instagram and TikTok every week. Instead of trying to become a famous influencer yourself, you could provide a service to businesses that already need content. If you eventually had 5 clients paying $250 per month, that would be $1,250 in monthly revenue before expenses and taxes. Another opportunity is video editing. Short-form video has become a major marketing tool for restaurants, real estate agents, gyms, coaches, online businesses, and creators. Many businesses
Owners have plenty of footage but don't have the time to turn it into engaging videos. If you learn the fundamentals of editing, captions, pacing, sound, and storytelling, you can sell a monthly editing package instead of charging for every individual video. A few recurring clients can be much more predictable than constantly searching for one-off jobs. The important thing is to focus on the results you provide, rather than simply saying, "I edit videos." A business owner is much more interested in getting consistent content than in the technical details of the software you use. Local service businesses can also offer surprisingly strong opportunities. Think about services such as lawn care, basic cleaning, car detailing, pet care, or helping small businesses with simple technology tasks. The advantage is that you're solving a problem that exists in your own community. You don't need millions of online views. If a service brings in $100 in profit from a customer and you eventually serve 10 customers in a month, you've reached $1,000. Of course, actual pricing varies significantly by location, competition, equipment, transportation, and the amount of work involved. But the principle is powerful. Sometimes the simplest business is the one with the clearest customer demand. Then there's the growing creator economy. But here's where you need to be careful. Starting a YouTube channel or social media account can potentially become a significant business, but it is usually not a reliable make $1,000 next month strategy. Building an audience takes time, and advertising revenue can fluctuate. A smarter approach is to think of content as an asset. You create useful videos around a specific topic, build an audience, and eventually have multiple potential revenue sources. Depending on eligibility and platform rules, those can include advertising, sponsorships, memberships, affiliate relationships, or your own products and services. The biggest mistake is treating views as the business itself. Views are attention. The business model determines whether that attention actually becomes income. Digital products are another interesting category because they can potentially separate income from hours worked. A digital product could be a template, educational resource, design asset, spreadsheet, or another original resource that solves a specific problem. For example, imagine someone creates a useful budgeting template for young professionals and sells it for $10. Selling 100 copies would generate $1,000 in revenue before platform fees, taxes, refunds, and other expenses. But creating the product is only half the challenge. The bigger question is how customers will discover it. That's why
Successful digital product businesses often combine the product with content, search traffic, communities, or another marketing channel. Freelance writing and specialized research can also remain valuable, especially when you move beyond generic writing. Businesses don't simply need words, they need information that helps them make decisions. Someone who understands a particular industry can potentially provide research, summaries, market analysis, newsletters, or other specialized content. The more specific the problem you solve, the easier it can become to explain why your service has value. Instead of competing with thousands of people offering writing, you could develop expertise around a particular type of customer and become known for solving a particular type of problem. Another model worth understanding is reselling. People have been buying and reselling products for decades, but online marketplaces have made the process easier to access. The basic concept is straightforward. Purchase something at a price below its realistic resale value, then sell it for more. But the word realistic matters. Revenue isn't profit. If you buy an item for $40 and sell it for $70, that doesn't automatically mean you made $30. Marketplace fees, shipping, returns, taxes, damaged inventory, and your time can reduce the actual profit significantly. The people who succeed at reselling usually understand their niche extremely well and know what products actually sell instead of simply buying random items because they look cheap. And then there is one of the most overlooked side hustle strategies, increasing the value of your existing career. Suppose you're already working in an industry.
Suppose you're already working in an industry where a particular skill is in demand. Learning an additional skill that helps you qualify for higher paying work may produce a better long-term return than starting a completely unrelated side hustle. For example, learning advanced spreadsheet skills, data analysis, coding, sales, project management, or another career-relevant skill could potentially increase your earning power at your main job while also creating opportunities for freelance work. Sometimes the best side hustle is one that makes your primary career more valuable. But before you chase that $1,000 monthly goal, you need to understand the difference between revenue and take-home income. This is where many viral side hustle videos leave out the most important part. If a side business generates $1,000 in sales, you haven't necessarily made $1,000. You may have software costs, equipment expenses, transportation costs, marketplace fees, advertising expenses, and taxes. In the United States, income from self-employment can also involve federal tax obligations, including self-employment tax, depending on your situation. The IRS has specific rules for reporting income and expenses, so keeping accurate records is essential. Don't wait until tax season to discover that you don't know where your money went. There is also an opportunity cost that rarely gets mentioned. If a side hustle requires 20 hours every week to produce $1,000 in monthly revenue, that might not be attractive compared with a business model that produces similar revenue with significantly less ongoing work. That's why you should track 3 numbers: revenue, expenses, and hours. Then calculate what you're actually earning for your time. That number tells you much more than a screenshot showing someone else's monthly sales. And remember, you don't have to build 5 side hustles at the same time. In fact, trying to do everything can be one of the fastest ways to accomplish nothing. Pick one problem you can realistically solve. Find people who have that problem. Test whether they're willing to pay for your solution and improve from there. Your first goal shouldn't necessarily be $10,000 a month. It could be your first customer, then your first $100, then $500, then $1,000. Each milestone gives you information that you can't get simply by watching another 100 side hustle videos. Simple, but simplicity doesn't mean it's easy. The real advantage comes from combining a useful skill with a real customer problem and a business model that leaves room for profit. So if your goal is an additional $1,000 a month, don't ask, what's the easiest side hustle? Ask a better question. What valuable problem can I solve repeatedly? That shift in thinking can change everything. Because the people who build sustainable side income aren't necessarily the people chasing every new trend. They're the people who understand their customers, control their expenses, track their numbers, learn valuable skills, and stay consistent long enough for the small results to compound. And in 2026, with AI, online platforms, and local opportunities all evolving at the same time, the possibilities are bigger than ever. But the fundamentals of making money haven't changed. Create value, manage your costs, understand your taxes, protect your time, and build something people are genuinely willing to pay for it.